There's a particular kind of person who mistakes someone's kindness for weakness, who sees a door held open and immediately starts thinking about what else they can take. Tonight's story is about a parking spot, an injured knee, and a neighbor who fabricated a wheelchair-bound mother to steal a closer space from a woman who actually needed it, and then got caught bragging about it in the hallway. This is her story, in her own words. She lives in a condominium building where every tenant has an assigned parking spot. Her spot is near the entrance, which matters because she has an injured knee, and walking any extra distance can be genuinely painful. About a month ago, a new neighbor moved in 2 doors away. We'll call him Derek. After 2 weeks, Derek knocked on her door with a request. His mother, he said, uses a wheelchair. She was staying with him temporarily. Could they possibly swap spots? She felt sorry for him. She agreed. They went to the building manager and made the swap official. 3 weeks passed. She never saw an elderly woman. She never saw a wheelchair. What she did see was Derek's girlfriend parking in the spot every single day. She was irritated, but she let it go. Then one day, passing through the hallway, she overheard Derek explaining to another tenant how he'd pulled it off. He liked the spot because it was closer to the elevator, and he said he doubted she'd even notice. Last week, she fell on ice and hurt her knee again. The extra distance became genuinely painful. She went to Derek and asked if they could swap back, pointing out she hadn't seen any sign of his mother in weeks. He got defensive, told her a deal was a deal, said she had no right to question his private affairs. When she pushed back and pointed out the absence of any wheelchair-bound mother, he accused her of calling him a liar. She said, "Yes, I probably am." She took it to the building manager. She explained the situation, that the swap had been made on the basis of information that turned out to be false. The manager agreed. The spots were switched back. Derek is now telling neighbors that she backed out of a promise and complicated things, positioning himself as the wronged party in a dispute he started with a fabricated story. Her sister told her she should have left things as they were because Derek obviously wanted it more and she'd already made her choice. Reddit's verdict, not the asshole. 93% upvoted. Let's talk about what Derek actually did here. He didn't ask her to swap parking spots. He constructed a scenario specifically designed to make her feel that refusing would be heartless. A wheelchair, an elderly mother, a temporary stay. He covered every possible objection before she could raise one, because he'd already thought through how to make yes feel like the only decent answer. And she said yes, because she is apparently a decent person. Then he parked his girlfriend in the spot and bragged about it in the hallway. That detail, the hallway conversation, is the one that makes this story something more than a dispute between neighbors over parking. He wasn't embarrassed. He was pleased. He told someone else, loud enough to be overheard, that he doubted she'd even notice. He didn't just lie to her. He was proud of the lie. And when she came back and said the story wasn't true, he had the nerve to say, "A deal is a deal," as if contracts survive the discovery that one party fabricated the entire basis for the agreement, as if she's obligated to stay deceived once the deception has been identified. You cannot hold someone to an agreement they never would have made if they'd been told the truth. Her sister's position is worth sitting with for a moment. She obviously wanted it more. She already made her choice. That kind of thinking treats accommodation as permanent once given, regardless of how it was obtained. It essentially says, once someone gets something from you through deception, they've earned it by virtue of wanting it badly enough to lie. That is not how any of this should work. But it does explain why people like Derek are able to pull off what Derek pulled off. Because there's always someone nearby to tell the victim that making things right would just be creating drama. The building manager didn't see it that way. He looked at what happened, understood that the original swap was based on false information, and changed the spots back without much pushback. That's the part OP mentions almost in passing, that it didn't take much convincing, which tells you everything about how obvious the situation was to anyone looking at it with fresh eyes. The top comment called it exactly what it was: petty fraud. He created a false story, obtained something of value on the basis of that story, and then argued the contract was binding when challenged. The contract was void from the moment it was built on a lie. This one landed the hardest. He didn't take the spot. He manufactured a situation in which giving it up felt like the only compassionate thing to do, and then used that manufactured compassion against her. Her kindness was the tool, and he used it precisely. And several commenters had strong words for the sister too, because the sister's logic, taken to its conclusion, means that anyone who wants something badly enough and lies convincingly enough deserves to keep it, which is not a principle anyone actually believes until they're the one being told to stop making drama. Here's where Wren lands on this one. She went to the manager. The manager agreed. The spot is hers again. That's the story, and it ends exactly the way it should. But I want to say something about the part that almost didn't happen. The moment after she overheard Derek in the hallway, when she was irritated and let it go anyway. That's the part where a lot of people stop. That's where it feels easier to just absorb the loss and move on. Her knee made the decision easier in the end. Pain has a way of clarifying what actually matters, but she didn't have to need a medical reason. She would have been right to go to the manager the day she heard him bragging in the hallway. Derek is still out there telling people she backed out of a promise, but anyone who asks her directly will hear what actually happened. Some things are worth making a deal out of. Not because the parking spot matters in the grand scheme of things, but because the principle of not staying lied to, once you know the truth, does. More whispers are coming. Follow Wren so you never miss one. I'll see you in the shadows.